For today's video, we're putting together an Amazon outboard stand. What's up guys? My name is Mike, and if you're new to this channel, I like to focus on a lot of different things to do with boats. My current project is restoring this 1437 John boat into a functional fishing machine. I'm at a little bit of a standstill right now. I'm in the process of waterproofing all of the wood that's gonna be going on the boat, and I've run out of epoxy. While a new shipment is on the way, I wanted to start getting things ready for the brand new outboard that's gonna be going on this boat. One of the first things I need to do to make that happen is find a place to put the outboard when it's not on the boat. And to accomplish that, I got this Amazon outboard stand. I found that some of the times it's better to just spend your money and get a more quality product because it's gonna last and it's gonna work better. But a lot of the times, the cheaper alternatives actually work really, really well. Now, the outboard that I'm gonna be putting on here only weighs around 100 pounds or so I don't need anything too robust. I'm really curious to see if this $85 outboard stand is gonna work for what I'm looking to do. The listing itself says that it's rated up to 315 pounds. We'll be able to take a look at that once we get it going. But as I said, it's $85.99 and it has the double wheels in the back and the swivel wheels in the front. I've had dolly style outboard stands before, and these actually work really well for moving them around your garage. So I'm really excited to see if this works for the price point. Now, I actually haven't had to put one of these together before. I've always acquired them through buying outboards where they came with the stand also. But my last outboard I ended up selling with the stand. So now I'm gonna need a new stand to go with the new outboard. So let's go ahead and get this unboxed and see what we gotta do to put it together. Okay, these are plastic wheels. These are not rubber wheels like they look like hard plastic. They are swivel caster wheels for the front, so that's nice. At least the clamp block is pretty robust. A lot of the ones I've seen just have a metal piece right here that's hollow on the inside. So a lot of the times you actually have to back brace it with your own wood. So it is nice that it comes with its own clamp block. Let's start putting it together before we have too many judgments on it. So we're gonna have sunlight today for about 15 minutes before a really big storm rolls in. So let's see if we can get this built in that time. Oh, okay, so there is no instructions. It just comes with a diagram for how it goes together, and they just want you to do it yourself. So it doesn't seem too difficult. So I think we should probably start with the base, maybe, and then work our way up. Seems like a pretty viable plan. So this is the crossbar that the wheels are gonna attach to. All right, so we got the risers here. Crossbar running through them. We're gonna have to move to the ground at some point, but we'll see what we can do up here for now. So I think we should start with bracing this bar. Let's do this. All right, so with the cross brace on, let's go ahead and get the caster wheels on since we got this flipped over. So same thing, they come with lock nut and washers pre-installed. Just gonna thread these on right from the bottom, washer on the bottom, and washer and lock nut on the top. Just the nut, washer, lock nut. That caster's a little rough on the one wheel. This one feels fine. I'm definitely gonna put some grease on the other one, actually on both of them, just to be safe. All right, so there's the bottom piece so far. Wasn't too bad. Got this cross brace on, the two caster wheels on the bottom. So far, so good. We got our axle along the back here installed. I'm gonna put those wheels on probably last just to keep this thing a little bit easier to put together. So at this point, let's go ahead and work on the diagonal extensions. And then once we have those on, we can tie them into the vertical supports. So these look like they just slot right in from the top here. Okay. Oh, that's nice and easy. We just get the short bolts here. Then the nylon lock nut on the inside. I picked up these ratcheting wrenches at Harbor Freight on a sale for like $8 or $10 or something like that. They come in really handy. I've never had them before and I thought, you know what, let me give them a try. I'm really glad I picked them up. Still take a little bit getting used to. Now these are also the pivoting ones. I don't know how much I like the pivot. I'm sure if I was working on cars, it would be a lot more handy. Now we got our, oh, these are some beefy support poles. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that there is rust dust on every piece of plastic that I'm opening, which is telling me that there is definitely rust on the interior of these poles. And then just looking down into them, I can pretty much confirm that it's not smooth like the outside. So I'm assuming this is just cheap steel tubing. Certainly not stainless or anything like that. All right, so now we're gonna do these vertical support poles. It looks like they actually tie onto the axle. So we gotta put the axle through the bottom portion of it, and then we're gonna bolt through the side portion into the diagonal supports, and then we're actually gonna tie the mounting block into this too. So this is gonna go on the outside, next to where the wheels are gonna go. All right, same deal, bolt on the outside, washer and lock nut on the inside. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is install the wheels, then we can get this on the ground and get the rest of the top portion complete. Before I do that, I'm gonna run a little bit of marine grease on the bottom of the axles here, just to keep this all running nice and smooth. All right, so for the axles, it's really easy. Both wheels slide on together. And then on the outside, you get a washer. And then that's followed up with a cotter pin to lock it in place. Okay. All right, it's starting to look like an outboard stand. And since we greased the axles, they run nice and smooth. All right, let's get this on the floor and finish up the top half. All right, now just to make sure we have everything spaced correctly before we do the clamp block, let's get this center support on. Oh boy, I'm really hoping that this clamp block kind of brings this all together, because at the moment it is very flexible. Okay, that definitely sturdied it up some. It's still a little crooked, but it's like kind of twisted, but I think that we got to get this centerpiece on, and then that'll stabilize the frame. So let's go ahead and get the clamp block on now, and then we'll see how this thing all looks. Don't know how sealed up this wood is, so it might not be bad to run, either paint it or just run some sealant on it. But we'll see. Yeah, this definitely straightens out the whole frame too, because it's got 2 connection points. So that made me feel a lot better. So gonna loosely bolt these down, so hopefully square the whole thing up as it gets tightened. This is pretty soft wood, so I'm not trying to cramp this down too much. I can see this bolt just driving right through the wood. All right, well, now that it's together, let me give you my final thoughts on the whole thing. Right off the bat, you gotta manage your expectations on what you're buying here. It's obviously a kit from China. It's the cheapest one you can find online at 80 bucks, so don't expect any kind of premium materials here. Yeah, there's definitely some jank. It's not completely straight. You can kind of twist the frame a little bit if you muscle it from either end, but overall, it's actually pretty solid. Now, the big question is, will I trust it with my brand new 2024 still in the box Outboard? And to that, I say, yeah, I would. It's really not that bad. Honestly, for what it is, I think it'll be just fine. It's more than sturdy and stable enough to hold a small outboard. Now, I don't know if I would max this out to the 315 pound stated rating, but for your 100 to 150 pound outboards, I think that this is more than enough. I've had very similar outboard stands to this before. I've liked them, they've worked really well. I do like the offset nature of these, so the outboard will hang in the center, which keeps the center of gravity really well, where it shouldn't be too tippy. I'll have to give that a real good test once we actually get the new outboard unboxed. That's gonna be coming up in a later video, so if you guys are interested to see what I got, I'm really excited to show you the whole process on that. I actually ordered it online, and I went through the entire journey of not only ordering it, but picking the right one, delivery, the whole setup. So if you guys wanna see how to order an outboard online, I'm gonna be doing a video on that really, really soon. But before I could do that video, I needed somewhere to put the outboard, and that's where the stand came from. If you guys are interested in this stand, I'll throw a link in the description. This is not sponsored or anything like that, but if you're looking for a cheap and affordable outboard stand, I gotta recommend it. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. Like I said, it's a little jank, but when you're working with small outboards, jank is honestly more than enough. All right, and if you guys are here for a John boat update, I'm gonna have some new work on it very, very soon. Unfortunately, my epoxy got delayed a week, so I wasn't able to work on it, but that actually worked out pretty well because last week I came down with a terrible, terrible stomach bug. I was laid up for a good 5 days straight. I haven't been put out like that in a really long time, so I wasn't able to get anything done. So no updates on the John boat right now. I'm gonna be finishing up the epoxy and then working on getting that all installed and trying out a new mounting system for the flooring. I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. The weather is finally starting to break, so we're going to be out on the water really, really soon with this, testing some things out and just seeing how the whole build's going to go. So if you guys are interested in keeping up with the John boat build, seeing how the outboard stand performs, or checking out the whole process for ordering an outboard online, don't forget to subscribe. I got a lot of great content coming up really soon and throughout the year. All right, guys, thanks for watching.